journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look at this Dow Jones. As you can see, we went through these numbers before, where we are looking at this on the long-term weekly. It's supposed to be up in this area right here. It's 40 points away from where we are right now. But remember, this is being done by about 5 stocks, folks. I just mentioned them, and I wanted to. Also, I got some flack today because of the comments that I made about Goldman Sachs and their idea of, when they bring out reports and stuff. I didn't mean anything by that. I'm just telling you from history. Now, they just came out a couple days ago on the price of Taiwan Semiconductor. I didn't say Tucson Semiconductor this time, but let's get it up here. Get the daily up on this. Is Taiwan Semiconductor. They came out with a really big buy right here now. There's where they came out, folks. You think they might have been buying down here 7 or 8 days before the thing came out? You can see the big volume that happened right here. It measures the 24. It's trading at 325. It hasn't made any money yet. Sure, it's going to make a lot of money possibly, but go back and take your Chat GPT out and ask them how good is Goldman Sachs on their predictions. Slightly less than 50%, 39% is what it is. The fellow that did this, Bruce Liu, happens to be one of the big daddy rabbits on the firm. He's a general partner, so he's one of the better guys that they have. And also, if you go back and look at his predictions that he's made, he's like me, 50-50 on a really good day. So just remember, what they tell you and what they're doing are two different things, really, folks. You have to think that way. Otherwise, you'll get in trouble. That's why I look at ABCD. That's the one that it's really important. All right, we got something happening here on Friday, folks. It's a huge deal. I'm going to go to it. I hate to go into this. This is the one from the Foundation for the Study of Cycles. This is curve fitted to make it look like this, but I mean, these are actual, they don't change these. Once this is in, that stays in there for these are the key days that happen during the 26th and then or into late 26. Okay. All right, we'll get that out of the way. But I wanted to show you here, going back a long time ago when I first started doing this for TFNN back in 07. In 09, we were staring at one of the most incredible things that we'd seen in a very, very long time in the market and in anything. As a matter of fact, this is the it's called a natal chart. It shows you where the planets lined up. Now, you notice there's 10 of these planets, and they're usually spread out all over. But look at this. You see how they're all in one segment like this? This means that they're lined up. All these cycles are lining up, very, 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 very important. Only the really far, like Saturn and Neptune, are the ones that are way out of whack here. You see, but you got all these others that are lined up. You got Mars, Mercury, the Sun, Neptune, and they're all lined up pretty good. And then they're setting at 0 degrees and all that kind of stuff. All right, and that's what got me started doing astrology with Dr. Miller. She said to me, what would make you understand this? I said, tell me how the bottom was made in 1974 in the stock market. And we had one of these in October. That was the October crash. And then 5 weeks later, we had one in December, right before Christmas. The same types, only lined up on the other side. And that's when it said, all these are lined up, so it's ready to go. Well, we've got something very similar to that's happening here on Friday, folks. This is a very rare event. And I'm not sure. I believe that it's pulling the market up, but we'll see. Here's where we are. Now, you'll look at this. They're the same natal chart, and you can see the planets are spread out over here like this. But if you look at this, across from here, you see you have Uranus lined up with all of these trading planets right there. You got Sun, Mars, Venus, and Mercury's not too far away. It'll kick in here pretty soon. But you see how they're all lined up right across from there? They're not spread out everywhere. They're lined up in the same type area. Not as big as 05. As 09, but it's big. It's really big. And so that's why I'm watching it and I'm seeing this market go up into it. The interesting part is with ChatGPT, I said, okay, let's see what this is. So I gave ChatGPT these coordinates and with this, and I said, okay, what was the last time when we had sun? This is an opposition. In other words, exactly opposed. Now, if it was over here, they would be in conjunction at 0 degrees. So oppositions and conjunctions are more powerful. Oppositions are 180 degrees. Conjunctions are 0 degrees. This is an opposition. Okay? Now, so I said, all right, when is the time we had Sun, Mars, Mercury, all these lined up at in opposition with Uranus? It came back, and it's had once in the last 90 years. And I think she said 90 years, 96, whatever it was. It was October the 28th, 1929. That was the day of the crash. I don't know if that means anything or not, but this is a big deal. So we're going up into it. That's all I can tell you. We're going to find out if it's going to mean anything or not, but we'll do one thing at a time and we'll see. Ooh, look at this, 49,666. Boy, that's got to mean something, right? Well, now it's 668. All right, we got that out of the way, and that's what we want to watch. Now let's get over to where the real action's been, folks. You want to talk about 382s and the beauty of 382s and stuff? I want you to see something, folks. This is the silver market. All right, now this is going over, and we talked about, do the gold here next, but this was look, do you remember these cycles that we have? You notice how the market is cresting on the right side, cresting on the right side, cresting on the right side? That's high translation that Stan Harley talks about, right? That's when the market is cresting to the left, that's a very, very bullish sign. Cresting to the right. If it crests early here like it could have, looked like it was going to be really bearish, but when you got to the point, look what happened at the very end. All right, but look at the 382s, folks, here today. This is just amazing. There was one here, there was one here, there was one here, and it just keeps going higher and higher. This was telling us that silver is only $1 away from the all-time high. Look at the weekly. Look at the weekly. Look where we are, folks. This thing is getting ready to go to a place that I think is going to have 3 digits. It looks like it's got $100 written all over it. There's just nothing behind it. We're just a couple of dollars away from a new high in gold. Gold did exactly the same thing last night. Okay, there's the action from today. Look at this. There was yesterday's action right at the exact 382. There's today's action right at the 382. And we're still going higher and higher. I got higher bottoms, higher tops, cresting to the right, cresting to the right, cresting to the right. This is a very bullish market, folks. That's the main thing that you want to keep your eye on, that it's still going higher. We are within absolute heartbeat of the all-time high. I believe we are within... let's see. Well, oh, no, wait. Why does that say that is 45? Oh, no, because they switched over. No, we're quite a ways. We're about $60 away from the all-time high. I was thinking of the old contract on December. No, there it is right there. And if that is correct, we could see that magical $5,000 without too much trouble. But we'll be right back. Stay with us, folks. Stay with us.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, I posted this to show you. This is where I shorted at 49,650. Okay, that was the ABCD on this 4-hour chart. And then all I'm doing now is I'm going down to the 2-minute, and it says if I'm right, it's going to start right now. And if it isn't right, I'm going to be out. So just keep in mind, it's sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Let's take a look at the reason why these things are happening just for fun. Okay, well, we've already looked at Taiwan Semiconductor. Let's take a look at one of the big daddy rabbits, which is J.P. Morgan. Hold on just a second here. J is right there. There it is, right. J.P. Morgan. Make sure I got the daily up because it's been smoking. Here it is right now. You can see, well, it hasn't even taken out the high of yesterday yet, but it still made another new high. We're up on the day another $10. Let's just bring this up on the hourly chart, and you'll be able to see that it's rallied back. There's where it closed. It rallied back above it today, so it's still hasn't made a new high. There was your high yesterday with a whole bunch of patterns lining up. The other one we have is Goldman Sachs, and the reason why I am so skeptical of Goldman Sachs, 2 reasons. One, back in 14 years ago, when crude oil finally got to 100, I think it was not 14, 8, 9 years ago, when crude oil was trading at 130. They came out with a special report, and it was said that it was, you can see it's up here just a little bit on the day. Let's just put the smaller time frame up, and you'll see that we're higher yet. See, so it's already come up in here. And the other one, of course, is J.P. Morgan, and Amazon's not doing that much. Chevron was sharply higher a little earlier, but it gave up most of its gains. Anyway, Goldman Sachs report came out, and looking for $200 crude oil. It was a 50-page report. It was the most popular thing on Wall Street. And boy, for 6 or 7 days, there was a roaring move from I think 135 or 125 up to 140 was the high, 142 was the high. And I'm using my old little ABCD stuff, and I said, I don't see any $200 on this. And it went off the board at $40. So it dropped $100 a barrel, and they were bullish. When they asked the Secretary of the Treasurer, Hank Paulson, why didn't they say, well, he said, market conditions change, and he said, you can't be changing your mind all the time. And people fall for that stuff. Give me a break. All right, let's get this out. I'm sorry. I've been doing this for so long, and I've seen so much of it that it's just truly amazing. They fall for the same stuff. Hey, sometimes it works good. That's all I know. I think I covered the gold. I think I covered the silver. Just as I said, I really believe we're going to go higher in the silver. There's not any reason to have it stop here at 82. We're at 81.31 right now. We're very, very close to the gold getting up in here. It could top at any time, but by golly, it could also stop, turn around and do the, not do so well. Who knows? Let's get ready here. And I want to get a couple other things here talking about, here's a good one. Look at this NVIDIA, folks. NVIDIA, the guy that runs the thing, Jensen Huang, he's at the Computer Electronics Show in Vegas. The only show bigger than that is the porn show. Anyway, that's what it is. And you can see, look at NVIDIA. It's been in a downtrend since December. And all that's November, and they're every single day it's something. $100, $100 billion here, $100 billion there. Folks, there's something wrong with this. If this was this good, this thing would be up here at 230 or something like that. If they can get J.P. Morgan up there, why can't they get NVIDIA? That's got the greatest story of all times. Chips. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too skeptical in my old age. You got to ask yourself, why isn't it going up? That's the main thing. Just use a little common sense. I always joke about how I play poker and stuff. But, when you're sitting at a poker table and you don't know who the sucker is, you're it. When anybody, if you sit down in a game and someone plays hands, every single hand, they're a loser because you only get a good hand about it once every 8 or 10 times. And those are the ones you have to play. Otherwise, you sit there and just throw your cards back. That's why poker's so great. You can decide when you want to play, if you want to play, and if you don't want to play, it doesn't cost you anything. So that's except for the sitting down, you have to pay that when you that you have to pay that once every 9 times. Okay, anyway, that's what we're watching here with these others. Let's take a look here at the crude oil. I want to get this up here and tell you because there's this crude oil. Let's try it again, Larry. This is this is the euro, folks. They keep telling us, that the dollar is weak. The dollar is weak. The dollar is not weak, folks. The dollar is strong. The euro is weak. Look at the high today. Okay, there's Tuesday's high right there. Okay, let's move that over and you'll see where we were. See that? Look at that. This all that is a 50% retracement of the high way back here. There it is, right at the old 50%. And then what we do today, boom, 382 retracement. Boom, 382 retracement. This is acting, looks like it's weak. And we really believe on a long-term basis, get that monthly up, because that's where I think, there's that long-term monthly pattern that we have right in here. This is where I think we're getting ready to top and go down. We've completed that. That's exactly what we've done. Now we're just waiting for it. It's already completed up there at that 119 and change, or 118 and change level. And here we are starting to roll over. We had the A, B, C, D. That's not a hard one to figure out, is it? So that's why a longer term, I think this is the one that's got, that went right to the exact number. I mean, that's another reason why, you thinking of being short up in here. So that's the main reason to be watching that. Now, there's a sleeper out here in the currencies. Let me get that to you in just a second right here. And I want to get that up to you. That's this Japanese yen trade. I'm watching it very closely. Let's get it up here so we can see it. I think this is the one that's going to be a sleeper. And now the reason why, see, this is the long-term picture in the Japanese yen. Remember that this is the carry trade. You know, they borrow money, okay, and then they don't have to pay it back because it's zero, basically zero interest rate or 1% or whatever. It's, well, I don't know what it is. But if they don't make money, of course, they lose. But look at this. We've been here now since November. Okay, so we've been here several months. Look at the last time we were up here, several months, okay? This is a sleeper. Everybody thinking everything okay, and it's not acting the way it should be. It should be screaming. It should be making a new high. Looking at the long-term weekly on this, we should be up into this area, and we're not. All we're doing is doing this. This is not a good sign. That's why I think this has got a chance to be a good move to the downside. In other words, go short the dollar, okay, and this is short dollar, long yen. I think it'll flip around. You want to be long the yen and short the dollar. Short the dollar means that's going to come down. The yen means it's going to go up. So I'm waiting for a spot to say, okay, where are we? My first indication is if we get below 155. If we get below 155, that's more than 78% of the downside. That tells me I've got to start looking for a pretty good thing. Just like you had the 786 here. See, as soon as you went down below one of these, look, boom, there's your first 382 retracement here. This is a weekly chart. Look at this, folks. These are monster moves. These are thousands and thousands of dollars. So it'll give you a chance. Let's just be patient. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, a couple of weeks ago, I did a special report here on the AI stocks. There were 10 of them to start out with. This is Taiwan Semiconductor. Now, we've hit 326 because of the report by Goldman Sachs. Okay, that's one that has done pretty good. But I went through all of these, and here's AMD. It's gotten creamed today, but it's way down in here. Advanced medical micro devices. It's the lady is Mr. Sue is her name. She's also in Vegas giving a speech. They're both up there. I don't know if they're both wearing leather or not, but look at. I'm going to show you a couple of them. Look at Avco, folks. It's below 300, folks. This is Broadcom. This is one of the really big ones, okay? Let's take a look at Google. Hasn't done very much, but Google's still in the same area around 312, okay? And then we take a look at Meta, and that one's, I haven't looked at it recently, 647. I'll check that when we finish here. Softy, you already know that. That hasn't done anything. It's still way down in here. And then, of course, we have NVIDIA. And where is it trading right now? It's trading at 183 right now. Is where it is right now, 183. Look at it's a head and shoulders pattern. It made its top in November. Shut the front door and raise it. The last rally was only 382. This is not bullish stuff, folks. And Oracle, we already know what that's like. It's still trading about 190. And then, of course, we have Taiwan Semiconductor, which I've already talked about. Let's take a quick look here. And Meta and see how Meta is doing, because I know they spent a lot of money in it. But by the way, there's the stop, folks. 47,444 is the stop. I sold it at 4666. Okay, let's come over here and take a look here at Meta and see how it's doing. I don't do stocks, but people ask me about it, so I gotta try to do some of it anyway. Let's get this up on the daily and see what it's been doing here. That's a real bullish one. Yeah, they put a lot of money in this thing. See, Meta's gone from 800 to 580. Okay, then we rallied up to 712. I don't think that's right. No, that's not right. It might be, but who knows? Anyway, you can see where it is right now, 658. It's down way from its high. This is supposed to be bullish? Come on, give me a break. And let's take a look at Avco. I'll show you what I mean. I'm just skeptical of these things. What they tell you and what they're doing are two different things. You've got to use a little bit of poker sense, I guess. Look at this. It's 347. Here it was 415. Look at that. And all we've did is during the month of December is make a 382 rally off the high way back here. This is not another bullish one. So I don't know. But anyway, let's move on here to the next one here and move that around. Oh, I've had someone ask me about one of my most memorable experiences as a human being. And I'll tell you with hands down what it was. It was in 1986. I was just going through a divorce, and I had just left Commodity Corporation, and I was working on legal cases from Avila Beach, California, 6 miles from where I am right now, with Eddie Horwitz. And I had my licenses. I had 5 licenses from Drexel. And I had those with my good friend who I was staying at his place, John Raffoni. I stayed with John for 2 years, so I was back on my feet. And he's like brothers because we've known each other forever. And anyway, someone in town had given me a reading of a psychic. And so I don't like to do that stuff because being a Catholic, I don't believe in it. But I said, well, they were awfully nice to me. So I went and was out on the Pismo Dunes. It was in May, so it was still a little crisp. The weeds were blowing, and it was kind of windy. And so I sat there, and a lovely woman, she was about 60 years old about the time. I said, I'm 45 at the time. Was that 45? Yeah, 46. Anyway, and she started to, I was very skeptical. She knew that. And she said, look, let me put your mind at ease. She said, I'm not here to, harm you or anything. She said, I heard about you. And she says, I can tell you're a special person. And I said, oh, geez, come on, lady. I wasn't born at night. It was not last night. So we said it talking there. And, I said, it's kind of chilly. I said, why don't we go over to the, set where there's, no, she says, we'll be fine. So she had a blanket there. So we're sitting there and the wind's blowing. And I'm sitting in the blanket and I realized that there's no wind around the blanket. I mean, it's actually nice warm. The sun was nice, but there was no wind, and the wind was coming off the ocean. It was pretty chilly. I said, why is that? She said, well, I put a bubble over her. So I said, oh boy, here we go. So she started out with telling me about my life. She said, she knew about my sister. She knew a relationship with my father was never very good. My mother was very good. How old my sister was. She knew all of that stuff. And I said, well, somebody probably told her that. And she could tell I was really skeptical. And she says, now look, she said, I'm going to put your mind at ease. She says, I know you have a secret out there, and I'm going to tell you what your secret is. And then will you put your mind at ease after I tell you what it is? And I said, lady, if you can tell me what that secret is, you've got my attention. And 1 minute later, she had my attention. And she said, okay, here's what's going to happen. She says, you're going to be very pleased with the rest of your life. You're going to live a long time, and you're going to have a lot of friends. You're going to travel all over the world. You're going to be on television, and you're going to be on radio, and you're going to be on writing books. And all. I hadn't even written a paragraph. And so I said, yeah. And then she told me some things about, about my kids, what was going to happen with them. And, but she just outlined what was going to happen to me. And here's a very low point in my life, going through a divorce, and all this was starting to happen. And 6 months later, Dr. Miller pops up, and I'm writing my first book. So this was a thing that really, that was one of the things in my life that I tried to track her down, never could. And it was a $50 reading. And I tell you, this woman, I asked her, I said, how do you know all this? She says, well, it's in the Akashic Records. I didn't know what the Akashic Records were until 4 or 5 months later when Byron explained it to me. These are things that are out there in the universe that you can tap into. Supposedly guys like Albert Einstein and Tesla and Musk can do that kind of stuff. So anyway. And of course, Donald Trump. I say that with tongue in cheek. All right, let's move over here and get out of the way here to talk about that. All right, and that's my story. There's been other great things happen to me in my life, but frankly, that was probably the most amazing thing that I can ever remember. I've seen other things, I've watched people manifest fruit out of their hands and things like that, but that's neither here. This is not working very good, folks, with this YM. So if we lose, that's just the name of the game, and there's nothing else you're going to do about it. All right. Okay, let's get back to the question of moving around over here, get this up here. We've got another question. It's about live cattle. And I'll be with you in just a second, and we'll be talking about live cattle.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, He has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, live cattle, you can see here, there's the low of the year when we started in January. There's your 382 retracement on Monday. There's your ABCD coming in here on Tuesday. There's virtually 237. The risk here is not even $100, and now it's made $300 if you were to do that trade. I did not because I'm focusing on other things. I probably should have. Okay, let's move anyway. We got our stop working here at 49744. We're right here at 49681. So we're going to move that out of the way so we don't have to worry about it. And next thing we want to do is we want to come over and take a look at the Russell. Here's the Russell. You can see here we've just completed a big ABCD here in the Russell also. There's your AB. And you move up here, there's your CD, and that came in right there at 279 and change. And the high was 279, and here it is, 277.90. May or may not mean anything, folks. But we've got the S&P actually making a new high here today, just now. And there it is, right there at 82. That's going to push everything else up. Get that. See how nice it was for the first 30 points? And then it changed because it was still bullish. So there's our numbers. There's the S&P. We'll see it right here. We'll just draw these in so you can see the ABCD is the one that makes more sense to me than anything else. That means we're going to get, oh my goodness, we might hit 4,690. Oh, that'll take you to new high ground. But you've got another one that's right here. That was the one from early this morning. That's the one that is the controlling one. And that should mean we should get here. Another couple points here at 84 should do it. Let's get this one out of the way because that's not a The reason why it goes back, this is the one controlling today's low. See, that low right here was a 382 off of this right here early this morning, okay? And then here's where we are. So we're only 4 points away. We still got a chance in the Dow Jones, but like the man says, it's like the mask rider, slim and none. Okay, we get this out of the way. Get the cattle out of the way here. I don't need to use that anymore. It's all about risk control, folks. It's not how much money you make; it's how much money you don't lose, and that's the key to what we do when we do our trades. We think that's what we do. That is what we do, because you can't do anything more than that. You don't know what the heck is going to happen to it, right or wrong. All right. Let's get this out of the way. Get these up so we can see here. We had another question about Tesla, and I know the whole world is absolutely wildly bullish about Tesla, but folks, let me tell you something. This is not a good chart. I know he's the smartest guy in the room, no matter where he is, but by golly, I'll tell you, the stock itself just doesn't. It's not acting well. I know has nothing to do with automobiles, it's SpaceX and all the stuff, but look at this, folks. We got the Dow Jones going nuts. We got the NASDAQ going nuts. And why isn't Tesla coming along? Yes, the things were bad a little bit, but look what they did here. This is super important. Remember making new highs up here? Look at this. Look at everybody that's bought that all during the first month of December has a loss. Now they got a big loss. You see, so that's why, when the market's not reacting to the way that it should be moving, then you got to be really careful. And here's a man that's being short the Dow Jones when it's going straight up, and you're listening to me. Hello, operator. Well, we'll be out of that pretty soon, so we don't have to worry about it. Only got another 40 points to go, and we'll see what's happening here. Okay, we're also making a new high here in the, this was the overlay for the, see, we did a pretty good thing here. We were selling this at, it actually turned out to be a buy because it was upside down, because we wanted to be a buyer right at that spot because we thought it was going to be a high, and it reversed at that point. So I was doing other things, so I didn't get to do that one. I was able to do the other one. So we're going to turn this around and see if that'll tell us anything of what's going on. These are just vibrations of time, folks. It's looking at the time axis instead of the price axis, and it's telling us where's where we are right now. Now I've got to reverse it. It didn't reverse, so give me a second here, and it'll only take a split. I'm going to be looking at the mirror image of this. Is what I'm going to be looking at, folks. So hold on, I'll get this out of the way here and hit the inversion here. There's what we were going to see. Okay, here's where we are. Get out of the way. Yeah, see, it's been following since right about here. It says we're still going higher for the rest of the day, so there's no reason to even think, well, we're at an ABCD if nothing else. Let's just draw that in. I can see that. I see these things in my sleep. And there's where we are right now in the old NASDAQ here at 25,800. That's just the ABCD formation on that. All right. So that's what we're paying. But look at this on the longer term, the 4 hour. This is still has bearish implications. Not much, because there's our old 786. And of course, that was right up here. And there's where we are today. We had a pretty big move down here early this morning, stopping exactly at the 61 ABCD. That was right on the open. Okay, you can see that right there. Just draw it in. And I happen to be in on that one. I saw that one happening. So there it is right there. And then had the move up. And then you had the little move down here. Now, this was the move earlier in the day. All I do now is when I'm watching this, I want to see if that's going to be a 382, because that tells me that we've got some really good strength coming in. So if you go from your low up to your high, there's your 382, and look where you are right now, folks, okay? We'll find out how far these things are going to go, but we'll do them one at a time as we go through looking at this. All right, now I just noticed something on a flash here on there it is right there. See, there's JP Morgan, the Goldman Sachs. You can see, look at this move here yesterday, folks. Monday and Tuesday. This is why the Dow moved 1,000 points, because this thing went from 875 to 975, 100 points. And remember, this is the most expensive stock in the Dow at 956. Second is Caterpillar. The third is Microsoft, used to be, but I don't know if it's still the same or not. That I'm not sure of. Okay, let's move that out of the way here, and we'll see. All right, we'll take just a second here, humor the old guy, and we're going to take a look here at this one last time here, and then we've got another. Oh my gosh, the show's coming into an end. And here's where we are. Well, we don't have to worry about this, folks, because look, it's supposed to top right here at 4 o'clock. That's the last spot. We don't start down now. You're going to get stopped out at 49744. It's going to list $400. And so, send me your receipt and I'll send you a check. I won't sign the check, but I'll send it to you. Anyway, that's what we're watching right here. Okay? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if by any stretch of the imagination we get down below this level right here, we'll put that in there, see if the beeper comes on. That'll tell us we got a pretty good chance here. We got about another 10 minutes to go. We got to take care of it. I think we got ready to do the we got 33 seconds left. Let's take a look at Apple, because that's one that ought to be looking around pretty good. And we get back, we'll walk through this one last strategy session here on this, and we'll see where we are. Oh, look at Apple. This don't look good. Wow.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, this is Apple. Everybody that's bought it since October has got a loss. Everybody. This is one of the greatest companies in the world. And look at it. There's somebody selling it. I don't know who. But look, if you look at this real closely, you've got a head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. The right shoulder is going to be a 382 retracement. That's a negative sign, right? There it is right there. There's your left shoulder. This is really good symmetry, and we're heading down. We're going to go there without any trouble at all, 253. So somebody that bought this now, they're questioning whether that's happening. Now, the rest of the Dow stocks are doing pretty good. So keep that in mind. Oh, last final thing. Here's where we are. We got a couple minutes to go here in the show. Remember, our stop here is 49744. So it's got to get up another 50 cents. You take a $400 loss. But by some stretch of the imagination that it starts to work and maybe gets down to break even, you've got a pretty good chance. So that's all we're looking at here is probability and possession. Your possession is you got this much money into it and you got to stop in there. You know exactly what your risk is. It's $450, not a nickel more, not a nickel less. So that's what we're watching. Here's the time coming through exactly at the top of the hour, which is in 5 minutes. Well, I'll be hiding under the bed after this goes off because I don't want to hear the beeper go off. If you believe that, I still have 5 shares of the Brooklyn Bridge I'd like to sell you. Anyway, folks, it's a holiday season roughly still here, so try to help your neighbors and whoever else needs it because there's a lot of folks. I think I told you the story a couple of weeks ago. I go to Sunday morning, I go to McDonald's for my big breakfast, and I ordered it, and I set it down, went to get my coffee. When I came back, a homeless guy was eating my breakfast. So the manager gave me a free breakfast, and I was shocked. I'd never seen that before. It gets pretty tough when you're waiting to see somebody get up, right? Hey, listen, live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.